Hari Om, everyone. Welcome to our third meeting for the year, May. So today we have Nirmata ji Dolakia. She's going to be our talk for the first satsang. She's going to talk for 20 minutes. And after that, we're going to have our speaker of the day, Gauri. I just want to say a few things about Nirmata ji for those who don't know. I'm sure everybody knows Nirmata ji, but I still want to say a few things. She's been a Badri Sevak, cultural coordinator for about 40 years for Badri. She actually did the 2-year Vedanta course in Trinidad with Swami Prakashananda ji. And she's been serving as the spiritual guide for the Indiana Center, Omkara, Northwest Indiana Center. And she has 3 kids and 4 grandkids. And she also has a very successful music school called Sadhana School of Indian Music. She's been running that since 2003 in Chicago. So again, she is a Vanaprastha herself and dealing with grandkids and kids. And, a lot of us in the US are in that boat. So how do we balance the two, being a Vanaprastha and also handling all these other things that come our way? We're not just going and living by ourselves and taking care of our spiritual life. So she's going to talk about how to balance that and bring that spirituality into our life and live joyfully at this stage of our life. So I'm going to hand it over to Nirmata ji. Nirmata ji, you can start with a prayer.
Hari Om, everyone. Let's begin with the Lord's name, chanting. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om Namo Narayana. Hari Om. So, who is Narayana? And what does Narayana mean? Narayana, the refuge of all beings. Nara, man. Interestingly, it also means waters. Water here representing the creation. And Ayana is the dwelling place or the very source. So either of the meanings can be interpreted here. The one who is the very source of all beings, also the one whose resting place is the waters. Again, the water representing the entire creation here. Thus, he is also associated with the concept of Vishwarupa, the universal form. Now, when we say resting on the waters, our Narayana laying atop the ocean, it seems like the Lord is doing nothing. What we would ordinarily call as nivritti, retired. Right? Really? And what is the opposite of nivritti? Pravritti. Now think, are they really opposites? Then why is the word vritti present in both the words? What is vritti? Let's see. Vritti means modifications of the mind. In simpler language, it means waves of thought. That is vritti. Now, pravritti is seen as being physically proactive. In the outward worldly activities, in worldly pursuits. Nivritti is also actually being proactive, just not physically, more so mentally active, inwardly, with focus on spirituality. The mind is still very much progressively active. The body will obviously function according to its definition. And most of us know the definition, right? Shadvikar, asti, jayate, vardhate, viparinamate, apakshiyate, vinashyati. From existence to birth to growth to all the changes that happen to the disease, decay that happens, and then finally death. That is the definition of a body. We cannot really fight nature. But mentally, it is possible to remain cognitively sharp, mentally sharp, well into the 80s, even the 90s. I have personally witnessed it in my father and my father-in-law. Yes, who lives to be an active 108. What a life. What an inspirational life. How? The lifestyle, the discipline, self-care. These practices actually retain, even improve the ability to adapt to changes while improving one's own quality of life. So what else will help us? Learning new skills like painting, music, something that you always wanted to do but never had the time, in trying to win the rat race, as Pujya Guruji calls it. Try some gardening if you can, or learning a new language. Why not? It'll improve the memory and keep the mind sharp. All these contribute to improving the brain's resilience and keep one mentally as well as physically active. I don't mean learning grammar. Nahi nahi rakshati dukran karane. Remember? Bhagwan Shri Adi Shankaracharya already told us that in Bhaj Govindam, long time ago. So, having the clarity of what my duties are, at what time and stage of life, pursuing the right actions accordingly will certainly help us to follow the correct path. That clarity must be there. Remember chapter 18? Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha karya akarye bhaya abhay bandham moksham cha ya veti. Know that. Buddhi sa partha satvike. See, we are faced with choices and challenges every moment in our life. The intellect, in all its goodness, must decide the right action to be taken according to the ashrama of one's life cycle. Whether one is in a student life, that is the brahmacharya ashram, householder's life, the grahastha ashram, retired life, the Vanaprastha ashram, which should prepare one for the renunciate's life, the sannyasa ashram. Samnyasa. It's not about wearing orange robes. Samnyasa. Well thrown away. Throwing away what? all material attachments, which is only temporary in nature, and knowing one's real nature, which is Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa. Of course, this shloka talks about what is Satvika Buddhi. But the point here is, if we are still confused about our duties and actions that we take up, it is high time to give it a very serious thought. Of course, we will love our children and our grandchildren. But now at this Vanaprastha stage, we love them as gift from God. Do not get over involved in the children's lives. We have done our duties as a householder during the Grihastha ashram. That ashrama is done. Now let them do their duties well. Teaching them to do their duties well is also our service to them. Otherwise, we'll be doing a disservice to them. They have to do their duties well too, their life cycle. So depending upon one's traditions and personal inclinations, one can keep a good balance between the pravritti and the nivritti, keeping one's goal very clear and making sure that all thoughts are driven with seva bhava for a noble cause, for a noble goal, detached from selfish desires, with full knowledge of what? खाली हाथ आए थे और खाली हाथ जाना है. अपने साथ क्या लेकर जाना है? सिर्फ अपने विचार और उन विचारों के अनुसार किए अपने कर्म. We came empty-handed, also going away empty-handed. So what do we take with us? Our deeply embedded thoughts and actions, the karma. So what do we do to develop these noble, unselfish thoughts? As Pujya Gurudev, our spiritual master, says, reduce the quantity of thoughts, number one. How? We have so much garbage in our mind, brooding over unnecessary things. Erase them. They are destroying us. They are not necessary. They do not serve you well, your well-being, which is now the most important thing to see, our own well-being. So we are not a burden to the society. We can take care of ourselves. And what happens thereby? Of course, it improves the quality of our thoughts. Mind cannot remain without thoughts. Once the garbage is out, the quality of thoughts improve because the quantity of thoughts has reduced. And how do we do that? Volunteer at any spiritual organization near your home or and of your choice. It could be Chinmaya Mission or any temple. It could even be at an autistic children's school. And see the love and the understanding it can bring inside of us. Absolutely selfless seva, just for the Lord, who has given us this wonderful world to live in, a divine life. It comes without the burdens of any expectations. Expectations are what burdens us. financially, materially, in any way. Nothing. No expectations whatsoever. Working in a true yagna spirit. That is why one feels so inspired while doing seva. And now the real magic happens. Voila. Just feel the most noble thoughts finding their way automatically into your heart. Om Shanti. Hari Om.